There is still no deal in Washington on the debt ceiling or on a long-term plan to fix the budget. Michigan Congressman Senator Levin is with us now. He is the top Democrat on the Ways and Means Committee. He is joining us right now from Southfield. Congressman, welcome. We're glad to have you with us. Before we talk about this August 2nd debt ceiling deadline or larger debt issues, what do you make of the possibility of Tim Geithner leaving the Obama administration?
I hope it doesn't happen. He's so hardworking. I've been at breakfast in his office at 8 a.m. He's also, I think, been very effective. For example, in explaining the debt crisis, I think he does it so well, makes it so clear this is real. And in so many respects, I think he's become a very important spokesperson and a guider of policy. So I hope very much, look, we've got some real challenges ahead of us. He's in the thick of trying to solve them. I hope very much. I think it would be better for our country if he stayed on. He works hard. You can get tired of that job. It's so
it's probably
compelling.
Obviously extremely demanding, but he has taken a lot of criticism from both sides of the aisle in the sense that conservatives have said he is the face of the Obama administration and some of the things that have been less popular. On the flip side, many liberals have seen him as too close to Wall Street. But all in all, you say he's a hard worker, he has good negotiating skills, and it would be harmful if he left.
No, I very much think so. You know, everything he did was not popular, but necessary. If we hadn't acted some time ago when there was this crisis, where would this economy be? And so people criticized the steps that were taken. They weren't always perfect. I think the banks did not step up to their responsibilities in many cases. But if we hadn't acted, I know it's hard to think back, but let's do so for 1 second as we think about his possible departure. It was essential that we tackle these issues. He was willing to do so. I think it would be unfortunate for the country if he left at this point.
Even if for no other reason than to get somebody in where there is so much work left to be done, as you said, would probably take a long time, right?
Yes, and I think, you know, it's so highly partisan, and the Republicans in the Senate have been blocking a lot of appointments. So it could take a very long time, and I think the minority in the Senate, the Republicans, would make it, they'd challenge, I think, anybody, even if it were Alexander Hamilton.
All right. And of course, for the Obama administration, I mean, the administration has lost quite a few people from its cabinet. I mean, Summers, Orszag, Christina Romer, Goolsbee. I mean, there has been an exodus. So we have to assume that the president would like Tim Geithner to stay on. Speaking of the work that has to be done, Congressman, August 2nd is looming. Will the Democrats take a short-term deficit deal? How is this going to get resolved?
I think it's preferable if there's long-term. I think the Republicans have to really get off the dime and be willing to have some dimes spent by taxpayers who can afford it. I think we have to have major cuts. That's true. They have to be the right ones. I was in the House when Republicans voted, for example, to disallow expenditure by the Ag Department for climate warming, or to follow through on getting a hold of derivatives, cutting
but a short-term deficit deal might not be out of the mix?
It may not be, but I think it's better if we step up to the plate. That's why the president was correct in saying we should stay in Washington next week and do our work.
How upset is Congress about the ratings agency saying that if the U.S. does not raise the debt ceiling, that we could be rated much lower down than we are right now? How upset is the average congressperson? How threatened is he or she about this?
Well, I don't think we feel threatened personally. I think the nation's economy is threatened. And so I think we have to face the music, but to do it in the right way, and we're going to have to politically dance together. And the Republicans essentially are saying no revenues. And that's not a tenable position. There has to be a balanced approach. And August 2 is a real date. You know, I hear some of my colleagues saying, well, let's pay off what we owe China. Can you think of something that's kind of a crazier idea?
Thank you, Congressman. Senator Levin of Michigan joining us there, saying a short-term deficit deal not off the table, but you heard the congressman say it better if we focus on the long term. Coming up next on the